welcome to my stamping studio. I'm Tina Raby, and today I have a fun card to share with you that has a unique technique to it. So this is the card we're going to be making, and it is a braided card. So I'm going to show you how to do the braiding on this. It's actually quite simple, but it's really impressive, isn't it? So let's move on over to the stamp table and we'll get started. Okay, so here's the card again that we're making today, so you get a little closer up view of it. So it features the, this flower is not even a stamped image. It is from the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper, as well as this banner. And I've used the one of the dies from the Ornate Layer dies for this frame. But the most unique feature here is the braiding on the card. So I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so we are starting out with just a regular card base. This is Petal Pink, and it measures 8.5 by 5.5. And by the way, all of the supplies that I'm using today, along with the measurements, can be found on my blog, and that is stampinstudio.com. Or you can make it even easier on yourself if you're watching this directly on YouTube. If you look below the video, there's a spot that says a few things, and then it says see more. And if you click on that, there is a link that will take you directly to my blog with this specific blog post. Okay, so anyway, we've got the card base, and we're going to make sure that we have a very crisp fold there. Next, I have a template. I've got that right here, and this, you will find a PDF that you can print out that will have this template on it, and I think it has 4 or 5 of these on it. But what we're going to do is we are going to put it on the card here like this on the folded edge, and then just use a paper clip on each side to hold that in place. Okay, so now the template is on there. It's not going to wiggle all over the place. And if you look close, you can see here we have solid line, and then at the bottom is a dashed line. And right here it says fold. So what we want to do, and I'm going to turn this so that it's easier, is we are going to take our paper snips and we are going to cut on the solid line right down to the fold line. Okay, so I have it cut there. I'm going to do that on every one of these. Okay, so we have the cutting done on every one of these. Now we can pull off our template. Okay, and you can see how we have all of these little slits here. Now what we're going to do is open the card. So this is the inside, here we have the outside. And we are going to take and fold down each one of these. So I'm going to get it here and fold. Now on this very bottom one, once we folded it down, we want to take our paper snips and actually cut that off right at the fold. Okay, so we have that side, and let me flip it around here, get this side. Okay, so we have this cut out of there. This piece that I just cut out, I want to set this aside because we are going to use it. All right, but now we're going to do the braiding part. So what we're going to do is pick up each of these, lift it up, bring it down, and fold it. Then with this tip, we're going to take and just tuck it underneath, just like that. All right, so let's do that with each one of these. Fold it down, tuck it underneath. Okay, so there we have every one of them folded down. Now, that piece that we had cut off here, you see how it folds? We want it to fold the same way that the card itself does. So like this. And what we're going to do, I just noticed I have a little pointed end there. Okay. We are going to take some of the glue and just on the tips here, just put a little bit of glue, and then we're going to tuck it underneath. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to carefully close that just because that glue isn't all the way set yet. All right, so there is our braided part. So it's a pretty impressive thing, but actually very easy to do. Now let's go ahead and build the rest of the card. I'm going to set this aside for right now. Okay, I have a piece of Whisper White, and I'm using the Peaceful Moments stamp set, and we're going to do Thinking of You with All My Heart. You could swap out for any other sentiment that you have. The ink that I'm using is the Mossy Meadow. So let's get that, and then we bring this down and stamp the words on here. Thinking of You with All My Heart. That is all the stamping that this one takes. Let's get the rest of the elements together here. I have a piece of the Petal Pink ribbon, and we are going to tie a bow with that. Okay, we're going to set that aside. And then we have, this is a piece of the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper, and I am just going to cut this flower out. All right, so we have that cut out. All of our elements are here and ready. A little piece of the Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. Now, anytime I'm using stripes, if I were just to stick this on, do you notice how it's not an even pattern? So I just want to take and center it on there, and then I'll cut off the extra ends of the paper. So I'm going to center that along the bottom and cut off these wings. Okay, and then with the ribbon that I've tied the bow in, this is going to go down here along there. So on the back side, I am taping my hair down. Okay, so I've got some snail there on the bottom. Get this all lined up. Wrap it around to the back side. And then I want to grab a glue dot just to get the center of the ribbon secured down. Okay, so I'm going to just grab off one of those, stick it right underneath there, and then secure the tip of the bow. All right, and then for the flower that we cut out, I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. I think just 2 is going to do it for this. And I want to tuck it underneath so that the ribbon just covers the end of the stem there. And then we've got this frame that I have cut out already with the Mossy Meadow. This is going to go on here, but I do want this to pop up, and so we're going to use some dimensionals here. right there like that, and then let's put it on the card. It's going to go right there, and because we already have enough depth on everything else with this card, no need to pop this up, so just some snail. Center it. Isn't that pretty? And look, we've got the fancy braided edge, which coordinates really nicely with this ornate frame, and then just the sentiment is the only stamping on there. So I hope you were inspired today to do some stamping of your own. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of my projects, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do that if you're viewing this directly on YouTube. Right underneath the video on the lower right hand, there's a little red box, and that says subscribe. Just click that. That would help me out a lot, and that way you won't miss any of the videos that I do in the future. And also, if you're wanting any of the products that I used or any other Stampin' Up! Products, I would so appreciate your business. Please shop my store at stampinstudio.com. So I want to thank you for taking a little time out of your day today to stamp with me in my Stampin' Studio. So until we meet again, enjoy life, stamp something, and eat chocolate. Bye-bye.